Hi everyone!
Welcome back to the third video in our Acids and Alkalis series. Today we'll be learning about the chemistry behind acids and alkalis, and also discussing the various ways in which we can test these substances.
But first, let's go back to basics. An atom is the smallest part of an element that can exist, and a chemical compound is a substance made from two or more elements. Atoms are neutral, meaning that they have no charge. Think of a battery with positive and negative ends. Within each atom, there are protons that are positively charged and electrons that are negatively charged. As there are equal number of protons and electrons, the atom is neutral. If an atom loses or gains electrons, then this forms an ion, which is a charged particle. The element symbol can then be written with a positive or negative charge. So what does this mean in terms of acids and alkalis?
When acids and alkalis are dissolved in water to form aqueous solutions, they release different ions. An acidic solution has lots of hydrogen ions, and from video 1 we know this gives a solution below pH 7. Alkaline or basic solutions have lots of hydroxide ions. This is a hydrogen and oxygen atom joined together with a negative charge, and it gives solutions with a pH greater than 7. If a solution is neutral, there's an equal number of hydrogen and hydroxide ions. If we look more closely at this equation, we can see it then forms water. Let's look at an example of a strong acid. Hydrochloric acid has a pH of approximately 1 and can be found in our stomach. It's made up of a hydrogen ion and a chloride ion. These charges cancel each other out, so the molecule has no charge. When the acid is dissolved in water though, the molecule begins to split into its ions. Hydrochloric acid is a strong acid because it is incredibly good at giving away its hydrogen ions. An example of a weak acid is vinegar, or as it's called by its chemical name, ethanoic acid. It's a weak acid because it doesn't split fully into its ions when it dissolves in water. We can represent this with a reversible arrow, which shows a reaction can go in both directions. For a weak acid, the backwards reaction is favoured, so the hydrogen ions are not given up as easily. This is exactly the same for alkalis. A strong alkali will give up hydroxide ions very easily, whereas a weak alkali does not.
Different acids and alkalis can be mixed together where they undergo a neutralisation reaction forming water and a salt. But a truly neutral solution can only be produced if the correct amount of acid and alkali react together. This is because acids and alkalis have different strengths. Another term that is common with acids and alkalis is the concentration. A concentrated acid or alkali means that there is a lot of hydrogen or hydroxide ions present with only a small amount of water molecules present. A diluted acid or alkali means that there are only a few hydrogen or hydroxide ions present in a larger amount of water. Both weak and strong acids or alkalis can also be dilute or concentrated. But how do we tell if a solution is acidic or alkaline? We know that they can be very dangerous, and often they are colourless. We know that the pH scale is a coloured scale, so let's have a look at how the solutions can give these different colours. The substance we use to give the colour is called an indicator. These are special chemicals which change colour depending if what you are adding to it is an acid or an alkali. There are many different types of indicators that can be made in a laboratory, and some even appear in nature.
Now, some people may not think that red cabbage is the most appealing vegetable to eat. I do, but that's not what we're here to talk about. They contain chemical compounds called anthocyanins. These are very pH sensitive, and the pH of the solution they are added to can affect the structure of these molecules, subtly changing them in a way that causes them to appear a different colour to our eyes. Hydrangeas are a type of flowering plant that come in a range of very beautiful colours. They also contain the same anthocyanin molecules found in the red cabbage. And the different colours of the hydrangea blooms are a result of a difference in the pH of the soil in which they sit. In acidic soils, they're blue, whilst they're pink in alkaline soils. If the pH of the soil is somewhere towards the middle of the scale near neutral, they'll appear purple.
Now let's take a look at some chemical indicators that we may find in a laboratory. Litmus indicator is one of the oldest types of indicator. The coloured solution is produced by extracting dyes from lichen, which are dissolved in water. It is one of the simpler indicators as it will tell you if a substance is an acid or an alkali, but it will not tell us how weak or strong a sample is. The solutions will turn red in acidic solutions, blue in alkaline solutions, and purple when the solution is neutral.
However, a much more useful and common indicator found in the laboratory is universal indicator. As with litmus paper, this indicator can be used in a paper form or in a solution. It will display a range of colours over the entire pH scale, meaning that not only can we tell if something is acidic or alkaline, we can also tell whether it's strong or weak. The colours arise from the multiple compounds in the indicator that react with the unknown solution. A neutral solution is green, whilst acidic solutions range from red to orange and yellow, whilst alkaline solutions appear turquoisey blue to a very deep, deep purple.
Here is a video showing how we can use universal indicator. Do you think the solution is an acid or an alkali? What is the pH?
There are many examples of neutralisation reactions that can occur around us in our day-to-day lives. Ammonium nitrate is a salt made by a neutralisation reaction. In the countryside, this is an important chemical as it's used as a fertiliser for plants. Agricultural lime is an alkali which is added to soil and lakes to increase pH, as we learned in previous videos that soils and lakes can become too acidic due to acidic rain.
In our homes, toothpaste is an example of an alkali. It is vital that we use this twice a day in order to neutralise the acid produced by plaque on our teeth. Too many acidic drinks such as fruit juice or fizzy pop can cause our teeth to rot. Some people may also suffer with indigestion, which is caused by too much acid in our stomach. We learnt in video 1 that indigestion tablets are alkaline in order to neutralise the excess acids.
However, it is important to remember that whilst indicators can give us very colourful solutions, they do have some limitations on their accuracy. It can be very difficult to interpret colour correctly, especially in murky samples or those with any solid precipitates in them. Therefore, a more accurate way that we can obtain these measurements is using a digital pH meter.
In our final part of the Acids and Alkalis series, we will be showing you some experiments that you can try at home. Thank you for listening,
and we'll
see you next time.